one, and with the second one I crashed my whole plane. Hi guys, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is episode 11.5 because we're doing something different now. I'm trying to build some planes because last time I built the plane in episode 11 it didn't work out quite that well and Jebediah died. So today I decided to brush up on my plane designs a little bit, and I tried to first design a ship out of Stargate to see if it would work. Maybe you can guess which plane this will be. So we've got a cockpit here, then the rocket engine and rocket tanks and rocket engine in the back. Now I'm adding the plane wings here. I've accelerated this all to 4 times normal speed for you, so it doesn't take this long. Okay, so there we go, the little plane here. Nicely done. Put this on the top here, and we need to edit the length a little bit because it has a length of the whole rocket parts here. There we go, that's fine. Okay, now we need to add the outer engines of this ship. Oh, first, yeah, let's edit the second one because this is a 2-seater. Small one, nicely done. And now edit the outer engine part here. There we go. This is a smaller one consisting of 4 engines each. Just upsetting here. Nicely done. 4 tanks each with some turbofan engines for atmospheric flight and the intakes to match. There we go. That's nice. And next up we need to add outer wings here, and these procedural wings, that's the mod. I think it's B9 procedural wings. Works perfectly because you can you can match every part of the wings that you like, the edges, the shapes. As you can see, I'm adding a little bit here in the middle, so it looks like one wing. You can add the width, the height, the length, the elevation even. There we go. We're gonna set it a little bit downwards because this plane has a downward slope. And I'm already seeing here that my center of lift is way too far to the front. But I wanted to build this plane as it was in the series, in the TV series. So I'm trying to make this work, and hopefully it will somehow work. Let's see if the designers of the game did a good job. Yeah, there I'm adding the control surfaces at the back here for pitch and roll control. Yeah, there we have them. The inner ones, they are for pitch control, and then I added outer ones a little bit bigger for roll control. Calculated the stability here, and as you can see, we've still got a little bit of red here, which isn't very good. So I mucked around with the mass strength of the wings here a little bit to get the center of mass a little bit more to the front, so it's not that bad. And now adding landing gear and deciding to take this thing, or try to take this thing for a test drive once I added the landing gear right. Yeah, there we got it. And this is a nice plane, as you can see. And of course the color's not right, it's white, the real one is black. But if any of you have guessed this plane should be an F or X-302 from Stargate. I believe the X-302 was the prototype, and after that they were called F-302s. Okay, and there we go. We've got everything lined up now. Plane is ready. I'm just trying to get these steering wheels nice and even and stable. And now it's time to take this thing for a test flight and see if the offset center of lift, which should normally be behind the center of mass, works out, or if the F-302 is unflyable in real life. There, we're just naming it F-302 Kerbal, and now let's do this. And there we go, we're at the runway and trying to see if this thing works. And the first thing you will notice here is that these little turbofan engines scaled down have a very crappy thrust to weight ratio, so they are not accelerating me at any rate that I want. But I decided to leave this thing here and just try to get as far as possible with this design and see what would happen. This is a nice example of what happens to a plane if you have the center of lift in front of the center of mass, and this far in front with this design is really a crappy thing to see. It's gonna happen soon once we reach enough speed. The front of the ship is going to try to take off. The back isn't nearly fast or strong enough. There you have it. And we're just stalling here, losing our engines, and the whole plane is deciding to crash. So I decided to get back to the base plane hangar and do something a little bit different here. I decided to build a new plane because basically the F-302 design is unflyable with Ferrum Aerospace in KSP here, so I needed to build something differently. There you have it with these two engines. Some of you may already guess what kind of plane this is gonna be. And again, the color of the plane won't be exactly right, but the form of the plane I think turned out pretty well once it's done. I did the inner wings here, nicely done, a little bit larger and a little offset. There we go. Okay, that's the inner wings and the front wings. And then turn the thickness down. That's nicely done. And the next thing I need to do is put another pair of procedural wings here and get them to where I want them to be. Those need to be, yeah, shaped like that, and they need to be a little bit bigger and on the back here of this nice little plane. This plane doesn't have a rocket engine, it just has these two jet engines in the back. And now let's put our yaw control here. That's nice, rotate it a little bit so it looks good. And I tried to do the wings black at first, as you can see, but the problem is I don't have a mod installed that lets me edit the color of my fuel tanks. So I edit the black one into white later. And there you can see me trying to get the elevators onto the wings, but I couldn't attach anything to these outer wings for one very simple reason that you will maybe get later on. Maybe you've already caught it. So I decided to put these tail fins here, put the stuff to white again, and wanted to put elevators in here. Tried to muck around a little bit, tried to make them bigger or smaller, because I couldn't believe that this wouldn't work. For crying out loud, why wasn't I able to see this? So I decided to cheat a little bit and just put the elevators here in the middle. That's not the way this thing is supposed to work, but better than nothing. So it is at least flyable. Then I calculated the stability and saw one yaw control stability in the red, so I needed to take care of that later. Just add the steering wheel first and take this as an F-22 Replica and try to launch this thing. And now let's do this. Yeah, there we go. I forgot the basic thing that every air-breathing engine needs: some air intakes. So let's remedy this. Let's take these radial engines here, put it on the bottom here where the F-22 has its. And I decided to put 2 air brakes on the top, so I could slow this plane down if needed. And now let's take it for a real test drive or test flight. The air brakes work, that's good. Let's activate our engines, go to full speed. We've engaged stability control and we're trying to get this thing into the air. That's nice. This one has way better acceleration than the F-302. Of course, it's got way bigger engines and it works perfectly. Perfectly stable, flying straight up, and I can put the gear up. Perfectly stable. I thought I had the right plane here until I decided to try to turn. And there we will see the mistake with the outer wings. They are in fact not wings but control surfaces. I messed up in the building process. So I decided to scrap the outer thing and make them wings. Real wings, so I could build it the way it's supposed to be. So let's shape the wings here until we've got them far enough back. Put them a little bit further back and put the tail fins really on the tail here. And I decided to cheat a little bit to work with the offset to get the look just right here. That's perfectly. Now put the elevator on these back ones, and that way, as you can see, the center of lift is just a little bit behind the center of mass, and now all stability is perfectly in the green and we can take our second test flight with this vehicle. And again, like the first one, it rolls perfectly off the runway. The turbofans are in dry mode at the moment, so they give me, as you can see, about 40 minutes of flight with 34,000 meters of delta V. So this is an awesome design and should perform as good as the real F-22 or maybe even better. And now I decided to, there we have it, fly it a little bit. We are already at 240 meters per second, so this is awesome. The only thing here, these turbofan engines, they have roll and gimbal. I decided to deactivate it to be able to control them better, but in my problem I only deactivated them on one, and with the second one I crashed my whole plane. This little thing on top here still flies, but I needed to make some adjustments. I decided to increase the mass strength of all the wings from 1 to 2 and then just fly it again and see what happens. So this is the third test flight of the F-22. At least way less test flights than the real one had to endure. I believe the real F-22, they started building it in 1996 or something like that. And they had a lot of testing to do before it was finally ready to be deployed. Although I'm not quite sure if the F-22 was ever deployed in a real war zone. I think I read somewhere that it wasn't. If you know, please let me know in the comments if the F-22 was ever deployed in a real war zone or just for maneuvering. Okay, now let's fly this thing. We're gonna time accelerate a little bit because I decided to just fly straight and try to get a speed record. And there we have it. We're at Mach 1.1 and still steadily accelerating. So for the rest of the flight I'm gonna give you to normal speed, and I'm gonna leave you with my live commentary while I played this, because I rambled on a little bit about the real F-22 and stuff I knew about it and had read about it, and so I'll leave you with that and be right back. There we have it. Performance at altitude was Mach 2.25 at 2.4, that's 2.4 kilometers per hour estimated, and we are at Mach 1.9. The Super Cruise normal is Mach 1.82, so we already surpassed that one. With 2 external fuel tanks, the range is 2,960 kilometers. I believe that would be a little less than we've got. And we've passed Mach 2. We've also got better engines because the thrust to weight ratio on the F-22 in real life is 1.08 and we've got 1.2 here now. And the service ceiling is 20 kilometers. I don't think we can reach that, but we don't want to even try. We just want to get above Mach 2.25, so I can say this thing is faster than the altitude as the maximum speed of the F-22, and then we can try if it blows apart this time or if we can actually control it. So we need 2.25. We're gonna go ahead and pitch down a little bit so we can get level and get a little bit more speed out of our engines, because at 7,000 meters at Kerbin the air is already getting thin and our engines are getting hot, so we need to watch out for this because we don't have pre-coolers in here. So let's point this thing down a little bit and get this record of 2.25. Come on, 2.2. Still accelerating at a very slow rate though, but we're still accelerating. Come on. And we've got our little warning. The engine is starting to overheat. Come on, 2.21. Still accelerating very slowly. Pitch down a little more. I know this is a little bit cheating, but I want this record. Come on. Oh no, our engines are getting red. Okay, I believe we are gonna be good with 2.22 if we reach it. 2.213. And for safety reasons, chat, we are gonna deactivate the engines, slow us down, try our air brake if it works, and because we are already past the 20-minute marker, we're gonna end this episode here, and you can see in the next episode if I am able to land this F-22 Replica. I hope I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching today's episode of Kerbal Space Program. If you liked it, be sure to leave a comment or click that like button. And if you never want to miss an episode again, be sure to subscribe. I hope I'll see you guys next time.